Hey, what's up, everybody? Wasn't planning on being back in, but looks like I am, because we've got something to talk about. Let's see if I can. Let's get a little bit of chill music in the background. So yeah, apparently we got news in the Star Wars world today. Something we weren't really expecting, and I think this is what we're going to see uh, over the course of the next couple months. Is we're going to get little by little information on the new series and all that type of stuff. Okay, hold on a second. Oops, I got that. I gotta fix something here real quick. But yeah, we're gonna get little by little more and more information about stuff that's gonna go on in the Star Wars world. Basically, because Star Wars Celebration has been canceled, so we won't get huge chunks of information all at once. So it's gonna be like we'll learn about the Bad Batch here. Eventually, they're gonna confirm the casting rumors in for Mandalorian season 2. At least we hope that they turn out to be true, and then we'll kind of see where things go from there. Let's see. Let's do another thing real quick. So yeah, let's get to this. So, things we know about the Bad Batch. It sounds like it's coming out in 2021. Actually, I'm going to look at the StarWars.com, what it says on there, which is cool because it's actually, since it's on StarWars.com, it is actually official. It's going to be coming next year, 2021. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. Members of Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possess a singular, exceptional skill which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone War era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. Let's see. Agnes Chu, Senior Vice President of Disney Plus Content, has talked about this. It's going to be executive produced by Dave Filoni, who we all know. Athena Portillo, who worked on Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Brad Rao, who worked on Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Resistance, and Jennifer Corbett, Star Wars Resistance and NCIS, I guess. And Carrie Beck, The Mandalorian and Star Wars Rebels. That's awesome. And co-executive producer, and Josh Rhimes as producer. For Star Wars Resistance. That's okay. I've heard some people say that Resistance isn't so bad, so I'll take their word for it. Hey, what's up? Let's see, got a couple people in chat. Let's see exactly what's going on there real quick. So this is exciting news. Hey, Dexter. James Christensen, how's it going? Yep, they confirmed on Twitter. It's actually where you really go to find out if something's official is you have to look at StarWars.com. It's kind of like the whole I can't even talk right now. Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka rumors are just rumors until we see it on StarWars.com. Okay, so actually, the one thing I wanted to talk about is Order 66, and the first one I want to talk about is Echo. So Echo is with them, and what do we know about him? He was connected to these machines. His brain was actually part of in the interface of these computers for however many years. So I'm predicting that he will not have had his inhibitor chip. It was either out because of whatever they had to do to connect him to the computers, that it had to remove the chip to get around that, or that deactivated it. So my guess is that Echo never had to execute Order 66. Yeah, but I don't think he will. I think, look at all the stuff he had connected to him. there's an easy out for the writers on that to say that he never executed Order 66 because he didn't have the chip in his head, or it was deactivated somehow by all those. Well, he was, first of all, he's reprogrammed, so the actual programming of the chip for probably when it forced him to do Order 66. The other members of the Bad Batch is where I'm more interested in. Now, I'm interested, especially if Echo is around them and it's like, what the heck are you guys doing? And I think that that could be kind of interesting. You know, man, there's things about Echo that I don't think we understand. Like, part of his mind, in my opinion, is machine. And I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch the Bad Batch arc, because in my mind right now, not having seen it in a while, there's something in Echo's mind that's part machine. So could it be possible that when the other Bad Batch members start like talking about how they need to hunt Jedi, that he might be able to figure that out and help them remove the chips? No, I think Echo's going to be with them, but I think there's a good chance that Echo saves them from this. Now, this is another thing we know about the Bad Batch is when they worked with Anakin, they weren't used to working with Jedi. So when Order 66 happened, I don't think they were around any Jedi to try to execute Order 66. Yeah, thank you for following Emilio Trevier. Trevier? Remember saying it? I appreciate it. I'm excited to see how that all plays out, though, because something about it tells me that if whatever orders they're taking from the Empire, they're going to do under their own free will, and as them being, I don't know, loyal to the Republic before, which is now the Empire. But I don't think the chips are what's going to make them follow those orders. You know what? Wouldn't it be fun, though, if they realized all this and now they're on the run? I mean, if there's any group of clones that would be able to go out and still take jobs and be mercenaries and not... I do believe it says something about them being mercenaries. They would be able to do it. First of all, they don't look exactly like the clones. They'd probably be able to fit in a little bit better. So it'd be really cool if they were on the run also. Yes, that didn't surprise me. So when Filoni was saying that the Clone Wars was done and there wasn't going to be another season of Clone Wars, he meant that. But I never thought that that meant that we would never see anything from those characters again. Just like people say, is there going to be an season 5 of Rebels? No, there's not. There is no Rebellion anymore after that. But will there be a sequel to it? Will there be continued storylines of those characters? Yes, absolutely. But that's a completely different thing. So same thing here. This is not another season of the Clone Wars. This is a spin-off of these characters, which I think is going to be awesome. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Flickster. You and me think a lot alike, which that kind of scares me, dude, honestly, if I'm thinking like you. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Look, there's bounty hunting business was still kicking during the Empire. So I think there'd be a lot of jobs for them to take. I mean, look at the way the Hutts were still in business during the Empire. It's not like criminal organizations, or it's not like there's not jobs for bounty hunters and mercenaries. By the way, Dr. Pepper cream soda, first time I've ever had it. It's pretty darn good. But they would be priority Imperial targets, which would make the series all that much more fun. If they're having to try to stay off the radar of the Empire while taking jobs so that they could support themselves, that would make it a really interesting series. Another actual thing that would make it kind of interesting is if they were, you know, the Empire knowing that something, maybe with them being mutant clones or whatever. Hey, what's up, Phantom Fruits? Maybe them being like different and mutated. Maybe the chips didn't hold, or maybe they didn't even have the chips, and maybe there's a possibility the Empire knows that they aren't going to execute Order 66, and they don't even try to get them to. I mean, they've got all these other clones to go after Jedi, so maybe that's not even their bag. Maybe they have them doing these other things. But over the course of the series, the Bad Batch realizes that they're on the wrong side, and they have to deal with the moral implications of them being on the wrong side of history, and they have to make their own decisions. Yeah, but okay, so if they're not working for the Empire, being mercenaries and just helping out whoever with their skills for money, because that's what a mercenary is they have a skill set that can be useful to other people who are willing to pay for that skill set, and that's what a mercenary is. So to me, it makes total sense that they might be a mercenary. Could there be an episode where they meet up with Rex and Wolf if it works right? If it makes sense within the story, if it's just thrown in there, I don't want to see it. But if for whatever reason the story just makes sense for them to be in there, I would be cool with that. I just hope it's not forced if that does happen. Same thing with Ahsoka. If somehow they run into Ahsoka, I kind of hope they don't, because she's a Fulcrum agent. Her job is to keep her existence off the radar. So unless if Echo somehow recognizes her and he refuses to turn her in, that's the only way I can see that working. Like the art we got? What did we get? Hold on a second. I'm interested now. Are you talking about the art for... Let me look. You talking about like the logo? I like the logo of it. But as far as what other art are you talking about? Yeah, I was running around town grabbing lunch in my car when I heard about this, so I literally got home and I'm like, alright, I gotta do a video and see what happens. Yeah, what art? Oh yeah, that art, I like it. I mean, I think it's subtle. I think it does its purpose. I think that's the key thing. I mean, it's kind of dark. It's kind of I like the gray in it, because I think this is going to be a little bit of a more grittier show. I don't know. We need to see what the tone of the show is going to be. First of all, I hope it's darker than the rest of the Clone Wars. I hope it's gritty. I hope it's got some higher concepts. I hope it's an emotional experience. The red highlights in it, yep, those pop on there. You don't like it, but it's very well. See, I'm not a. You should see the way I dress. I'm not, color coordination and stuff like that. That's why I have to have my sister do any kind of graphic work for me. So I couldn't tell you. To me, it looks fine. I think it's gonna address the tone of what the show's gonna be, but. You just now got a notification, Jake. What about the video, or like me streaming, or about the Bad Batch TV show that's coming out next year? A second, I want to look at something here. Yeah, it fades a little at the top. Yeah, I think it's gonna grow on all of us. I think by the time the show starts, we're gonna be so excited that when we see that logo come up. And then the music play, I think it's just going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Here's the other thing. I'm hoping that the whoever does the music, it needs to either be the guy that did Mandalorian or Greg Kiner, I think it's his name, that did the Clone Wars music. Preferably the Greg Kiner. But with it being grittier, maybe the Mandalorian composer does it. That might be cool. Yeah, there's so much speculation that's going to go on about this right now. Yeah, Kevin Kiner, yep. Yeah, yeah. Filoni's not directing. It sounds like. I think he's gonna play the Favreau role, which is fine because he's gonna have so much going on. I think he needs to have more control over it than he did Resistance. I hope that Lucasfilm and Disney realizes the mistake they made with Resistance. The tone of that was just awful. I still have to watch it. I've heard the second season of Resistance is good, so I probably have to watch it eventually. But let's discuss gay Count Dooku. You know what? He's dead at the time. Well, yes, he is dead at the time of the series. So no gay Count Dooku in the Bad Batch. Joe. Yeah. I hated. So there was a couple moments where they were sneaking. I saw the characters like sneaking, and they were doing like the prancing type thing that you saw from like Scooby Doo, stuff like that. That turned me off. I'm like, no, no, no. This is not. Star Wars is always going to be somewhat targeted at kids, but yeah, no, you don't want to make it that kid-like. You don't want to go after the SpongeBob crowd, or even worse, the Caillou crowd. Dooku is very handsome. Christopher Lee he probably was. You know what? I wonder what Christopher Lee looked like when he was younger. Yes, he's alive during the Clone Wars Bad Batch arc, but this new Bad Batch TV series that's coming out happens after the Clone Wars. Really liking Vonreg and Resistance. So, is that later on season 1 or season 2? Because I'm halfway through season 1, I think. I am not saying that, Fanta Fruits. Nice try on that. Nice try. Vonreg was season 2. Oh, you guys are awesome. Beginning of season 1, he's a red ace. Yeah, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna get through Resistance. I'm gonna see if it gets better. I mean, in all fairness, it took me 3 or 4 episodes, probably at least, of Rebels to get into it, and it took me a little while on Clone Wars actually too. Joe, that's you have to have Mike, and then it's Roch. You have to drop the C at the beginning of that. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. As far as Resistance, and I think I almost have to finish that up to get ready for Mandalorian and stuff, because who knows if there might be some kind of connection I'm gonna need to see. Awesome. But I think, is there anything else you guys have, or thoughts on what this series is going to be like? Thoughts about the characters? Anybody that you want to see that show up in the series? One thing that I was listening to Hello Greedo, and he was talking about how he hopes that the Force isn't really involved with it, that there's no Jedi. And maybe I'm not going to be one of those that's like, I want to see something Star Wars that doesn't include the Force, because I'm never going to say I want to see a Harry Potter show that doesn't have magic. I mean, if they pull it off and it's good, but I think Baby Yoda and the fact it was one of the best things about The Mandalorian. I can't imagine that series without it. So having Force, I mean, it's Star Wars. Star Wars, what sets it apart is the Force. Yeah, Jake, you got to get yourself around some better Wi-Fi. Yeah, they commit Order 66 and join the Empire. I don't think they're going to be around Jedi. They're unless if it's just a fluke thing. From what I understood from the Bad Batch arc in season 7, they weren't. They didn't work for any particular Jedi. You know, this is the thing. In Filoni, we trust. So him having control over this and control of the overall story, I think he's going to make it work, whatever it is. I think whatever happens, there's going to be some conflict. There's going to be a lot of the characters questioning themselves, because I think that's what Filoni's done really good in the later part of the Clone Wars and in Rebels is he always sets that up where the characters are somewhat questioning themselves and having to battle with inner demons and stuff. And I think we're gonna see that in the Bad Batch. Yeah, the Bad Batch is, dude. Uh, I hope it's built up really well. I hope a lot of people watch it. Maybe more and more people will start watching Rebels and Clone Wars to prepare for it. Yeah, early episodes have effects on later episodes. Are you talking about Resistance still, or? Oh, Fanta fruits. Fanta fruits. Yep, the Force is what makes Star Wars Star Wars. Oh yeah, as far as you know, there were things that would happen in the earlier episodes, and then you'd forget about them, and then later on they'd be like, "Holy crap! Wow, that's cool." Like they something that happened way back in the beginning really matters. Like in all the little hints that they have, because I think when I first started watching Rebels, like when Hera calls Kanan love. I think in the beginning I just took that as kind of the way she talks. Like some people call people sweetie, stuff like that. But in the end, though, you rewatch that and you realize, no, no, she didn't call anybody else love. She definitely was hinting at her feelings for him. Yeah, and James Christensen, if it happens, it happens, and I'm sure if they put the right people in charge, it's gonna be great. Uh, but to me, I don't. I just want good storytelling, to be honest with you. I want good storytelling, and unlike a lot of other people that want something that happens completely away from everything else, uh, and doesn't want it to connect to the larger story, I like things to connect. So whatever this story is, so when the Mandalorian started connecting to some of the other things, that excited me. I know some other people don't want that, but that's just not me. Pre-order Squadrons. I don't know. I mean, I'll see if I don't think they're giving you anything extra if you pre-order. I could be wrong. I'll I'll start thinking about Squadrons more when it gets closer. Right now, I'm not too worried about it. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun experience to. It sounds like it's going to take a lot more teamwork than any like Battlefront 2 does. But anyways, I got a couple teenage girls that I got to go take around someplace because they're teenage girls and they don't want to just sit around. So, you guys have a great day. May the force be with you. And in the comments, not in chat, but in the comments of the video after it stops going live, if there's anything that you can think of that you want to discuss, then I will bring it up in there. So give me some ideas on videos for later. But anyways, have a great day. Peace.